Indianapolis Colts are taking a major gamble with Daniel Jones for this season and potentially for the foreseeable future. And I love what they're doing right now with this current roster. Let's do some house cleaning here. As I record this video, they have an 8-2 record. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, the Denver Broncos, they have the same record as the Colts, but the Colts defeated them in week 2 with a walk-off field goal. So currently, they have the upper hand on the Broncos. And in my opinion, the Colts are the best team in the NFL. And I'm not saying that they're going to go out there, they're going to win a Super Bowl this season. But you look at the direction of this organization and you look at the rest of their schedule, they should easily win this division. The Houston Texans, they have a great defense, but offensively, they cannot protect CJ. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they're very inconsistent with Trevor Lawrence right now, and I don't see them being a major threat in this division. And the Indianapolis Colts, you've already defeated the Tennessee Titans, not once, but twice this season, and they're a rebuilding team. Mathematically, they're already out of the equation to potentially win this division. So all Indy has to go out there and do is take care of business, especially with this upcoming bye week. But let's start off with this trade. You sent 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell to the New York Jets to bring in Sauce Garner. Now, on the surface, this may be a bad trade to a lot of people, but it's really not. First-round picks are not that valuable right now to the Indianapolis Colts. We're talking about an organization here. They haven't won their division since 2014. That was 11 years ago. We've seen the Jacksonville Jaguars win this division. The same with the Tennessee Titans and also the Houston Texans over the last 2 years. So Indy, they haven't had this much regular season success in a very long time. You want to capitalize on this window. The last time we saw the Colts in the playoffs was in 2020. That was 5 years ago. And the biggest reason for that was the quarterback position. More on that later on in this video. But another weakness with the Colts over the last couple of years, besides the QB situation, was their secondary. That's why they signed Cameron Bynum this year in free agency. That's why they went out there, and that's why they brought in Charvarius Ward from the San Francisco 49ers. 2 impactful players in the secondary to have. But the secondary has still been a weak spot for Indy this season. Entering today's game against the Falcons, they ranked 25th in passing defense and 4th in rushing defense. And this is your first year with your brand new defensive coordinator and Coach Lou. You had Gus Bradley over the last couple of years. He was terrible against the run. He was terrible against the pass. Gus Bradley was not a good defensive coordinator. But Coach Lou here, we have seen him be a very good defensive coach in the past with the Cincinnati Bengals. He was a scapegoat for that organization. Their defense has gotten even worse without him this season. And part of the reason why he struggled so much over the last couple of years in Cincinnati, he didn't have the right defensive talent. So he comes over. For the first 5 weeks of the season, the secondary was phenomenal with Indy. Then Charvarius Ward, he goes down with a concussion. He's been on IR for the last couple weeks. Now, we have good news on Charvarius Ward. He was seen in practice doing light work, so he's expected to come back this season. But you bring in someone like Sauce Garner, who is one of the best cornerbacks in the game. You could put him on tight ends. You could put him on the best wide receiver. He can make them a non-factor. His rookie season was historic. He hasn't been the same player since his rookie season, but that doesn't mean that he's a bad football player. He is still one of the best at his position. You get a player that can help you out right now and that can help you out for the foreseeable future. The Jets, they just gave him a contract extension this offseason with Garrett Wilson. So you know you have him on the books for the next couple of years. And in today's game against the Atlanta Falcons, he has some great moments. He did let up a play to Drake London, but Drake London is one of the best wide receivers in the game. But he did a very good job, in my opinion, in today's matchup against the Falcons. The next game that you have on your schedule is against Kansas City, and it's weapons galore with Patrick Mahomes. But who is the one defensive coordinator that has given him a lot of problems in the past? Coach Lou. You make a move like this, not just for the regular season, but also for the postseason. And I love what Chris Ballard came out and said. He talked with ownership. Jim Irsay sadly passed away. So his daughters, they now take over ownership duties. He talked with them. And he asked her, hey, I want to fix the cornerback position. She told him, you could either put a Band-Aid on it or fix it for the long term. And Chris Ballard said, you know what? Let's fix it long term. Let's go out there and let's bring in Sauce Garner. And let's trade these picks. Now you may ask yourself, 2 first-round picks, that's crazy for Sauce Garner. Why would you trade 2 first-round picks? That's just doing business. That's what the Jets are asking for. And the Colts were that desperate to have an impactful player on the back end of this defense. Because I can guarantee you this, you go into the postseason, if your secondary play is not up to par against quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson, they will cut through your defense for the first, second, third, and fourth quarter. But with you having that rushing defense, and now you have that impactful secondary play, you have a complete defense now to make life tougher on those quarterbacks. And the same with the quarterbacks in your division. And another reason why this trade doesn't bother me as much, even though 2 first-round picks, it is a lot to give out for one player. Most of the impactful players with the Indianapolis Colts that are starters, they were not first-round picks. Chris Ballard has done a phenomenal job in the mid-rounds of selecting impactful players. They just couldn't get the quarterback position right. You look at this offensive line, Quentin Nelson, first-round pick, one of the best players at his position. But Bernard Raymond was not a first-round pick. The rest of the offensive linemen that you have, they were not first-round picks. You got them in the second, third, fourth, and fifth round. Tyler Warren, he's a first-round pick. But Josh Downs wasn't. Alec Pierce wasn't a first-round pick. Michael Pittman Jr. is a very good and impactful player. Jonathan Taylor, he wasn't a first-round pick either. The one thing that will push back on this argument, giving up 2 first-round picks for pretty much any other organization that is dangerous, but not for the Indianapolis Colts, because they can draft very well. Their scouting has been up to par. You look at them in the front seven, you have a bunch of players at the pass rushing spots. They're on rookie contracts right now. Kwity Paye is a very good football player. The same with Latu is in his second season. DeForest Buckner, he's on IR right now. When he's fully healthy, he's one of the best offensive tackles in the game. Grover Stewart is a very good run stopper, but DeForest Buckner is 2-1. We have Zaire Franklin, who's a phenomenal linebacker in terms of stopping the run and just being a tackling machine. So I'm not worried about the 2 first-round picks here. I look at it from this standpoint. The Los Angeles Rams, the general manager, Les Snead, he came out. It was a meme, but he said, F those picks. We want to win a Super Bowl, and they won a Super Bowl. And you can still make significant changes to your roster and free agency in the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and seventh round. So first-round picks are not end-all, be-all. Most first-round picks are going to be bust in the NFL anyway. Let's just be honest about it. We've seen a bunch of first-round picks that work out and a bunch of players they don't work out. I would rather have a proven commodity that is in his 20s right now that can potentially help me win a championship than wait on a rookie that may take 2 to 3 years to develop. And at that point in time, Jonathan Taylor may not be the same. Quentin Nelson may not be the same. The timelines are different. This is an all-in season for the Indianapolis Colts, and I'm here for it. I love to see them have this success. And I'm really rooting for Indy this offseason. Well, this postseason, pardon me, to potentially win a Super Bowl. It's going to be tough. But you look at it from this standpoint, Kansas City, they're 5-4 as I record this video. Indy, you're 8-2. The Denver Broncos, they're 8-2. But Bo Nix has been very inconsistent. Their offense is not good right now in Denver. And you defeated that team. The New England Patriots, they're very tough. But I look at Indy, on paper, they have the better team in terms of being in the trenches, running the football and working off play action with Daniel Jones. And now you have that complete defense that can compete with anyone on any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. Just a great job by Chris Ballard. And the trade doesn't work out, which I think is highly unlikely. You still have other draft picks that you can play around with. But defensively speaking here, you're going to be okay. You're going to be golden. They did a great job today against Michael Penix Jr. in this win over the Atlanta Falcons. Now, they still have a question mark with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has looked solid this season. He's had some good moments. But in the last 3 games, Daniel Jones has had moments to basically he's reverted back to his old self, like how he was with the New York Giants. He's not the main reason why they lost against the Steelers, but he didn't help. They don't need Daniel Jones to be a franchise quarterback. They need Daniel Jones to go out there and basically manage the game, work off of play action, and don't put the football in harm's way. Against the Tennessee Titans, he did a phenomenal job, 21 of 29, 272 passing yards. They won that game 38-14. You beat a division rival not once but twice. That is against one of the worst teams in the NFL. But the reason why I bring this game up, he got sacked 3 times. This is a very good offensive line unit. You should barely be getting touched in every single matchup moving forward. But he was staring down wide receivers. He was staring down Tyler Warren. You didn't see this in the first 5 games of the year. You can't have this in the postseason. And Daniel Jones has to trust himself. It's more so of a confidence issue. If he misses a throw or two, you can see him shake his head. He hits his chest. That's what he did with the New York Giants. He has to trust himself. The deep ball has been consistent this season. When he trusts himself, when he has that confidence. And the pressure to sack ratio was terrible against the Tennessee Titans. Now against the Steelers here, you lost this game 27-20. You had 6 turnovers as a team. Let's just be honest here. Great win by the Steelers. You're not going to turn the football over 6 times every single week. As a matter of fact, most teams won't even turn the ball 6 times in one game in a season. That was just a bad game plan by Shane Steichen and a terrible performance by the offensive line and Daniel Jones. But Daniel Jones has to get the football out quicker. He was 31 of 50, 342 passing yards. He got sacked 5 times, had 3 interceptions in this game. No quarterback should have over 50 pass attempts in the NFL. The most pass attempts that you should have should be 35. You have to play balanced football. You have an MVP candidate, in my opinion, the MVP favorite. And if he's not the MVP favorite, he's easily Offensive Player of the Year and Jonathan Taylor. You run this offense through him. And that is not a negative on Daniel Jones. That is how this team is built. You run this offense through Jonathan Taylor and you get things going as much as possible. And when teams stack the box and they have those one-on-one assignments on the outside with Michael Pittman Jr., inside the slot with Josh Downs, with Tyler Warren across the middle, who is a phenomenal rookie tight end. And you have Alec Pierce, who is one of the best deep threats in the NFL. That's when you can put that pressure on Daniel Jones. But you never give up on the run game, no matter what. Even if Daniel Jones has 3 passing touchdowns, you still find a way to run that football. And Shane Steichen has done this in the past with the Philadelphia Eagles. And the work that he was able to do with Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. We know that he can get the most out of the quarterback position, but don't force Daniel Jones to be the guy. But this was a tough loss against the Steelers. But the one thing that you learn from this game, we could still possibly come back in these matchups, even with the 6 turnovers that we had. We only lost by 7 points. We got dominated by the Steelers on paper, but we still found a way to try to scratch and claw and to potentially win this game. It just didn't work out. And you're going to have losses like that. The Patriots, they lost against the Steelers the same way. They didn't look back. They had 5 turnovers in that game. It's a learning experience for everyone. And against the Atlanta Falcons today, Daniel Jones had a crucial fumble and he had a bad interception. 19 of 26, 255 passing yards. You can't fumble the football. You can't have those bad interceptions. He fumbled the football when it's 3rd down. Throw the football away. Recognize the blitz. Don't go blind against the blitz. And this is what concerns me with Indy. If Daniel Jones is not your guy in the postseason, let's just say they go one and done in the postseason, do you go back to Anthony Richardson? And I still think that there could be a lot of potential in AR as a player. More on that in the next couple minutes here. But even though you won this game today against the Atlanta Falcons, it still made you look at Daniel Jones and raise your eyebrow and say, okay, there's something here. You got sacked 5 times against the Steelers. You got sacked 7 times a day against the Atlanta Falcons. Very good defenses in the front 7. But that is what you're going to face in the postseason against the Baltimore Ravens, who can get to the quarterback now. They have Kyle Hamilton being closer to the line of scrimmage. Kansas City and their pass rushers with Chris Jones. The New England Patriots, they can scheme up pressure. And they can hit you from different angles with different stunts and different blitzes. Can Daniel Jones go out there and can he outplay that? And coming towards the end of the game, he did do that against the Atlanta Falcons. I want to see Daniel Jones have that redemption arc, and right now he is. He just needs to be more consistent against pressure and be more consistent against the blitz. And if Daniel Jones is not your guy, I don't see them trading Anthony Richardson, even if they give Daniel Jones a contract extension in the offseason. Look at how teams treated Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had a great year last year with the Minnesota Vikings. The Seahawks, they wanted to bring him in. He's on a 3-year deal. When you look at the terms of the contract, they can move off his contract after this season. There's no dead money on that deal. Justin Fields, 2-year contract. The first year, fully guaranteed. That's it. They move off of him after this season. No dead money on that contract. So if Daniel Jones performs well in the postseason, and if you don't win it all, you don't win a Super Bowl this year, you can extend him. You can give him a 3-year deal. Working that contract. 1 year, we can give you majority of the money. We can move off of this contract. We can go back to Anthony Richardson. And I wish this was the game plan from the start with AR. AR did not play much at the college level. He does not have to play the quarterback position. And what I mean by that, he can make some crazy throws in space. He has elite athleticism. We all get that. He's a big physical freak. But it's the attention to detail. It's the little things. He can't slide offensive line protection. When a man is running hot on the right side, he will get crushed by that pressure. He doesn't recognize the blitz. Daniel Jones, he's a veteran. He does the little things very well. He can manage the game. Anthony Richardson is throwing the football into coverage, overthrowing wide receivers. You're not seeing that with Daniel Jones right now. You look at Jordan Love. They gave him time to develop behind Aaron Rodgers. The same with Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre. Patrick behind Alex Smith in Kansas City. It takes time for certain players to fully blossom in the NFL. The physical tools are there with Anthony Richardson. It's just the little things. He doesn't have to play the quarterback position at the NFL level. But there is still a window to keep him around and to potentially go back to him and see what you have with AR. For example, the little things here, he taps out of the game because he's too tired. You benched him last season in favor of Joe Flacco, and the offense looked better with Joe Flacco as a starting quarterback. And if Daniel Jones is your guy, if he's your guy long term, be very careful with that deal because of how bad he performed with the New York Giants. But I like the Indianapolis Colts right now. I have them being the best team in the AFC. I just don't trust the offense of the Denver Broncos. You look at Kansas City, they can't run the football with Isaiah Pacheco. I get it. It's Patrick, it's Travis Kelce, it's a tell all the time. They've been very dominant. But eventually, you can't rule the NFL forever. And if you don't have a run game in winter, and you just trust your quarterback to just go out there and run the football with his legs and just throw the football in the air constantly, good luck with that game plan. We've seen that happen before in the past, and history does not favor them. The Steelers, Aaron Rodgers is still a very good quarterback. Their offensive line is very up and down. Their defense, you're able to move the football on that defense of the Steelers. You just shot yourself in the foot. The Patriots, very good, very solid team. Their offensive line is still a problem with Drake May. And this is not a video to tear all those other teams down. They all have some good things with them. They have some bad things as well. The same with the Indianapolis Colts. But right now, they're the most balanced team because their defense right now, as they get healthier, they will get better. The offensive line may be the best offensive line in the NFL. It really comes down to Daniel Jones. But we know that Jonathan Taylor is a beast. He's a monster. He can single-handedly win you games. And we've seen it this season and we've seen it in the past. But let me know in the comment section below, did Indy make the right move by trading 2 first-round picks to bring in Sauce Garner and essentially taking a risk on Daniel Jones? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless.